Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, this week joined by reporter Emily Hoeven, political columnist with the San Francisco Chronicle. Emily, good to see you here on this Sunday. Let's revisit the Newsom-DeSantis debate thing again. Is it on, and what about the demands or suggestions that the DeSantis camp wants?
It's unclear if it's on right now. The two men seem to be squabbling over the logistics of how this event would happen. They agree they want it to be on Fox News and to have Sean Hannity moderate it, but they are differing on the setup where Newsom wants it to just be no audience whatsoever. DeSantis wants it to be a live studio audience that is somehow going to be 50% split between Newsom fans and 50% split among his fans. I think there are concerns among the Newsom camp about this because when there was the CNN Trump hall, the CNN town hall that they had with Donald Trump, they had a bunch of his fans basically there who were chanting over the moderator and jeering and laughing and clapping at various points. And so I think that the Newsom team has been calling this a sort of spectacle that the DeSantis team is trying to push for. So we'll see if they can reach an agreement.
Yeah, we'll see. It seems to be ongoing. November 8th seems to be the target date. If they have the debate, it might be on that day. California legislators are back from the summer session. What are some of the most important things that they're going to be tackling here?
I think that they're going to be rushing to figure out the sorts of bond measures that they want to have on various ballots in 2024. As we know, the state has a sizable budget deficit that it has tried to plug in various ways. And so now they are trying to raise money for a bunch of things, whether that is housing or mental health care. And they're trying to figure out which bonds should go on the ballot and when. There are also debates that are ongoing over a bill that would hike bridge tolls in San Francisco Bay Area to help public transit. There was a last-minute measure that was introduced that would allow striking workers to access unemployment benefits while they're on strike. And there are obviously a ton of workers on strike right now all throughout California, but especially in Southern California. And then there seems to be a lot of turmoil over education, whether it's notifying parents that their students are identifying as transgender or non-binary. There's been a lot of school boards that are passing bills to notify parents, and the state is at the same time considering a bill that would block that from happening and also expand access to diverse books and education. And so there's going to be a lot of debate over that in the last couple of weeks of the session.
Right. You recently wrote a column in the Chronicle about fair housing and where this seems to be going. And maybe a holdup in this. What did you find?
Yeah, it was really interesting because as we know at this point, CEQA, California's environmental law, has often been leveraged to deny or delay projects for reasons that have very little to do with the environment. And there are concerns among advocates that a provision that requires local governments to affirmatively further fair housing when putting together their housing plans could actually end up being used in much the same way. There's an example in Mill Valley, which is in Marin County. Mill Valley is a very rich community, but there's a section of Mill Valley that they are proposing to build affordable housing in. And this portion of the community has filed a lawsuit arguing that they should actually put the housing in even richer neighborhoods to help with this affirmatively furthering fair housing requirement. And so advocates are concerned that basically wealthy communities are going to say, no, don't build affordable housing here, build it in even more wealthy neighborhoods as a way to just continually deny, delay, and push back these much needed housing projects in California.
Yeah, we've heard that before. I believe Steph Curry of the Warriors was concerned about something coming in his neighborhood. And so that's literally kicking a can to another neighborhood. Emily, thank you. Good to see you here on This Weekend talking about politics. If you'd like to reach out to Emily, you can do so by emailing her at emily.hoeven@sfchronicle.com.